I keep joking, quote unquote, about this so that you guys are prepared.
I want to be very clear. At some point, there are going to be bad text messages.
Yes.
You're going to be like, what the fuck, fights?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Okay, the day got away from me.
They were very risque DMs with someone who I was involved with in very much a sort of like kink-based relationship, if you will. So a lot of shit was said that also most people don't relate to. It's kink, it's niche, it's fetish, right?
Yeah, I get
That's bad. And as if that wasn't bad enough, think about this. You're having sex with someone and you say something to them in the heat of a moment when you're having sex. If someone else comes up to you and says, oh my God, I heard you said this to that person, like you said, out of the context, out of the heat of the moment, out of that safe place where it fucking sounds
Motherfucker spitting right now.
It's a little cringy.
It's a little cringy. Now, so that is
everything he said,
spot on.
Totally get. Yes.
But like I said, that's usually Sunday morning after a hot Saturday night session when I see, oh my God, I said to her, I want to see you gape. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. And now that I read that here on a Sunday,
the hard G is a lot.
when I see that, on the Sabbath, when I should be getting back from church, when I should be like reading the Wall Street Journal and having a cup of coffee while my kids run around, when I see that last night I said the word gape, yeah, you know what? It got away from me. And it was a little cringy. Now, that is very different than opening up the phone and seeing, I want to cut a piece of your flesh off, make you cook it and eat it. That's beyond cringy,
it's also
John.
Really, yeah. No, that one I stay on your side. That one I'm 100% with you. It's also just downright rude to make her like, I'll cook
Make you cook it?
I'll cook your flesh.
Yeah.
If we're gonna eat
I
it,
think
I'll
if anything,
cook it.
he should want to cook it and he eats it. Because I have said before, if you can somehow concoct a perfect scenario, which I don't know what it is. I don't want to eat some human that's been like kidnapped or trafficked or murdered or forced into it. But if maybe not you, you'd probably taste bad.
Oh, I would taste.
Who would taste good in this office?
Like, you know how they talk about like grass-fed steaks?
Yes, you're not that.
Guess
Neither
who
am
is-
I.
Guess who is not grass-fed?
No. But I might be like veal. I might be very, I got no like muscle.
I've been in a cage my whole life. Like,
Yeah, they just stand
They
like-
let me out, but it's still I have a cage-like body.
Who would be good to eat around here? And I guess we'll take women out of it so we don't sound like rapists.
Yeah. Who would be good to eat around here?
Because I don't think like too good of shape is good either. You know what I mean?
No.
And someone who eats like decently. I would probably eat that fat ass of YP's.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's in decent shape, but he's got some jelly to it, I would
Honestly, Caleb popped up. I thought Caleb.
see, I feel like he's like muscular. I feel like he'd be tough.
I don't think Caleb's like.
No?
I don't think he's out of shape. Obviously,
Yeah.
but I don't think Caleb is like muscular.
I feel like Marty would be pretty. He's lean, but like he's not muscular.
Even Marty eats like a bag of shit.
I mean,
too.
did you see their picture in the calendar?
No.
I mean, and again, I can't throw stones. I opted out of this entirely because I'm so gruesome. But it's Hubs, Marty, and Tommy
and yes.
holding the bats, and just like you see their backs. And I mean, it's just like it's like the back of like a newborn baby. Like there's just it's just like skin. You know what I mean? Like not that any of us have like jacked backs,
Yeah.
but you'd think you'd see some muscle,
A little piece of
something.
muscle,
It's
yeah.
just like a
Something
flat.
you can fry up on a
Yeah,
skillet.
look at that. It's just like right. I mean,
oh my God, those are.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Those look like three people. I'm gonna go real hard here, but that looks like a concentration camp, right? That looks like people on their way. Right? I mean, very pale.
Also, Hubs is that short?
Oh, that's a shitty shot. And Tommy
You just called him
photoshopped.
a concentration camper, and me going, well, he's a little short, huh? It's like, well, all right, let's not go over the line.
You know how height is. You know how girls get with height. He did Photoshop his ass, that right, Tommy? Those pinstripes are all like warped. I feel like he gave himself a look. Well, his caption is, "I got a dump truck of an ass." I just feel like Tommy doesn't have a dump truck of an ass, does he?
No, I have never noticed Tommy smokes his ass before.
Imagine making Tommy's cheeks clap. Oh my God. So, anywho, who would you eat? Because my point is, if there was ever a scenario where you just slice somebody up, and I could just fry up like a little strip of beef, like a little beef steak tip,
Try it, yeah.
Right. Again, as long as you're not like we're doing it against your will.
Yeah. If it's CNC, I will eat you.
Right. Exactly. But this whole idea of like, you know, you're doing it to your partner, pretty extreme. But that defense is the one.
That defense is 100% the right one.
Or you can go with the Frankie Borelli. That was Navy Hammer. That was my brother. I don't know. That's the other Winklevoss. Navy Hammer did that shit. It is. That's not me.
Like I and honestly, sometimes I think I'm the weird one in the sense that I'm like, boy, I got texts out there that I wish didn't happen. But I think everyone has those.
Well, I wonder sometimes because I agree with that. If in everything in life, this job here has opened my eyes to one extreme or the other. There are times where I'm like, I am the most average, relatable, medium, everyday man of all time. Like everything we say, do, eat, drink, like, dislike, there's a legion of people who agree with us, you know? But then I think as we've gotten, you know, bigger and our lives have gotten a little more unorthodox, I'm like, I don't know anymore. I'm not sure anymore. Because I just see like the life, I just see the life my friends live. Like a lot of my friends now are just like married and have 2 kids, 3 kids, and like that's just it, and that's their life. And then, you know, like I said, I'm throwing out like the G word in text. So I'm like, so maybe I'm not so normal anymore. But I would hope, let's just hope for my sake, our sake, when our text messages are inevitably leaked out there, that you all do. I mean, it's happening. Yeah. I keep joking, quote unquote, about this so that you guys are prepared.
I want to be very clear. At some point, there are going to be bad text messages.
Yes.
You're going to be like, what the fuck, fights?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Okay? The day got away from me.
My life got away from me. It just spiraled.
It is happening, everybody.
Every time a story comes out like this about somebody leaking something, I'm like, well, this is the day they're going to do it. It's going to happen now. Someone's going to get some inspiration.
This
it's
is going to
happening.
be such a good cold takes exposure. Like,
oh, yeah.
He's going to quote tweet this with a fucking fire emoji. Yeah. It's like, guess who called it? I fucking called it. They're coming out. Someone's going to post them. It's going to look bad for me. It's not that bad. It's just weird.
That'll be maybe. Listen. We've talked a lot about maybe like rebranding and renaming this show. It's not that bad. It's just weird. It's a good podcast name. It's a good motto, at least, for the podcast. So once again, because I mean, how many times have you? Leading up to like a big night, you know, let's say you know you're in a long distance relationship, and it's like, okay, we're gonna see her for the first time in weeks, or it's like you know like a third or fourth time you're hanging out after like sleeping with each other, like where you know it's still going down, and you start sexting. It's like noon, you know, you're building up to it, and you're saying all the things you're gonna do. And everything that's going to happen. I'm going to fuck you this way. I'm going to fuck you that way. I'm going to fuck you in this position, in that position. I'm going to make you come this, that. And then you get together, and what do? You just have some regular ass sex.
Missionary and fall asleep.
Done. Done.
So those texts that we've talked about, I didn't do any of this stuff.
I just say this stuff. I mean, really.
I wanted to, but like,
I don't even know about that. I don't know if we can admit that.
I'm talking about mine.
Right.
I'm talking about mine.
I wanted to. Of course I wanted to. I wanted to do all this. Like, it's just like I had to edit so much of this podcast. I wanted to like flip you over and, you know, invite some partners in and bring out these toys, and you were going to do this to me, and I was going to do that to you, and, you know, it got away from me. My dick got away from us, but
you rode me for 7 minutes and we went to bed. That's what happened.
But what if your like sexting was like this? You know, what if somebody saw your sexting? And what if maybe it's not as extreme as cannibalism, but what if you're really into some like, you know, one of these fucking rape role play things where it's like, I'm gonna come in and hold you down and like throw you against the wall, and then someone saw that and you were like, well, I say that shit. That's what she likes, and we like get into it, and then we just have like normal sex.
Yeah, we in the industry call it CNC.
Yeah. But I gave her aftercare. It's no big deal.
I mean, I might have weirder ones. I've definitely never said that. Like, I don't
Cannibalism?
No, rapes like that. Yeah. The CNC stuff. That is not the area I'm getting nervous. That is not an area I jump in at all. But I have things that you probably like. You're like, he should have been doing CNC rather than this thing.
Yep. Yeah, dude, I am right there with you, brother. I think, you know what?
Nick, do you have such text messages?
I don't think.
John, you know me. No.
God, it's like, I wish I did.
My texts are overly polite and ends in friendship most of the time.
Nick is featured on Dudes Down Bad regularly. I feel like I say a lot of things that are ragingly inappropriate.
I say a lot of things that I'm incapable of.
Yeah, right.
Incapable of.
Right. It's like we went to be texting about the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus too. It's just not gonna fucking happen. It's not real life. Yeah, there are. Sometimes I just see some word choices, but from both parties. You know, it's like It's not. I'm not yelling at somebody who's just sitting there being like, "Why are you talking to me?" She's reciprocating just as hard as I am. just
And
weird
we both
words.
know what's actually going to happen.
So long story short,
Anyway, Armie Hammer.
we stand with Armie.
Real weirdo.
All right, you're already laughing at one of the best clips of our shows. Now it's time for you to watch the full episode. So click here, subscribe to the full KFC Radio show. You can watch entire episodes right here. You want more clips? Click here. Subscribe to both of them.
Hit the button too. Hit the bell.
Hit the bell and the button, and then the comment below.
Leave comments. Who else you think we should interview?
And how I'm funnier than John.
Maybe.